arahan Bapak Presiden, segera kita membangun storage agar cadangan kita bisa sampai dengan 3 bulan. Salah satu alternatif terbaiknya di wilayah Sumatera. Cadangan nasional kita itu minimal 20-23 hari. Sekarang BBM kita itu sudah 23 hari. Jadi sudah di atas standar minimal cadangan nasional yang sebagaimana lazimnya. Tampung BBM kita sudah sejak lama hanya maksimal di 25 hari. Maksimal. Sehingga cadangan nasional kita itu minimal 20-23 hari. Sekarang BBM kita itu sudah 23 hari. Jadi sudah di atas standar minimal cadangan nasional yang sebagaimana lazimnya. Jadi kita nggak bisa katakanlah teman-teman menganggap harus Pak kita stok 60 hari. Mau isi taruh di mana? Kita nggak punya storage. Makanya sekarang arahan Bapak Presiden segera kita membangun storage. Jadi bukan kita nggak punya cadangan untuk mengisi minyak, tapi sekarang mau taruh di mana? Inilah kekurangan kita. Tapi tidak usah kita saling menyalahkan siapa-siapa. Ini yang harus kita perbaiki. Dengan cara apa? Membangun storage agar cadangan kita bisa sampai dengan 3 bulan. Gimana? Untuk target. Gimana Pak? Mungkin cara storage barunya Pak. Kemarin saya sudah jelaskan di teman-teman di media waktu di SDM, kita rencana salah satu alternatif terbaiknya di wilayah Sumatera. Ya. Baik, makasih.
Soal tambang martabe jadinya izinnya gimana ya Pak?
Oh ya, saya nanti cek dirjen saya ya. Karena kemarin kan saya baru pulang dari kunjungan ke luar negeri dan belum saya mengecek ke dirjen saya. Ya, nanti setelah saya cek dari dirjen saya baru saya akan menyampaikan kepada teman-teman.
Seberapa besar potensi ini sih?
AS sama Iran ini udah mulai mengganggu pasokan energi bahkan BBM di nasional.
Kalau sampai dengan sekarang belum terganggu. Tapi ke depan kan pasti kalau perannya lama pasti akan berdampak. Itu udah pasti. Sampai dengan 1-2 bulan ke depan, insya Allah kita masih clear. Insya Allah nggak ada masalah.
Nanti ada antisipasinya Pak, diskusi dengan Pak Presiden.
Kemarin kan di rapat perdana Den sudah kita mengantisipasi bahwa 25% crude kita itu kan kita ambil dari Middle East, dari Selat Hormuz. Dan dari 25% itu kita sudah mengalihkan antisipasinya ke Amerika atau ke negara-negara yang tidak ada kaitannya dengan Selat Hormuz. Itu aja. Jadi kalau menyangkut LPG nggak ada masalah. Jadi relatif clear lah. Kalau menyangkut BBM yang kita imporkan tinggal bensin. Dan itu kita belinya di Asia Tenggara, tidak ada di Middle East. Jadi relatif insya Allah clear. Ya.
Mr. President, for 47 years, the Islamic regime in Iran has led crowds in chanting, Marjbar Israel, Marjbar Amerika. Mr. Iravani, do you want to translate these chants? Your leaders have been chanting it for years in public events, in your parliament. Marjbar Israel, Marjbar Amerika. They mean death to Israel, death to America. Israeli and American flags were painted on roads so they could be trampled. Our flags were burned in public squares. This is not the anger of a radical fringe. It is state-sanctioned hatred. And while those Marjbar chants echoed, uranium was enriched, centrifuges span, missiles were built, facilities were buried deep underground. It was never just empty rhetoric. It was preparation for action. But today, alongside our ally, the United States, we act to stop it. Israel stands before you today, having acted with the United States to confront and stop an existential threat before it became irreversible. The operation targets nuclear infrastructure, ballistic missile sites, the machinery of repression that fuels terror across our region. We did not act of impulse. We did not act of aggression. We acted out of necessity because the Iranian regime left no reasonable alternative. This joint effort will continue for as long as the threat remains. We thank President Trump and acknowledge the close cooperation between Israel and the U.S., which has brought the alliance between our countries to an all-time high in peace and in war. Let us be clear about what we are confronting. This regime has built nuclear weapons in blatant disregard of international law and UN resolutions. It has brutally murdered its own citizens and crushed dissent. It's happened now as we speak in cities in Iran. It has expanded missile arsenals and armed proxies across the region. It has openly declared its intention to erase Israel from the map. Now, as it faces consequences, it is launching missiles and drones across the region, endangering the UAE, where a Pakistani citizen, unfortunately, was killed. Jordan, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Iraq. It spreads violence outward while crushing freedom at home. It is not reacting. It is expanding. It is a machinery of radicalism that does not recognize borders. Mr. President, diplomacy was exhausted. Iran was required to stop enriching uranium, stop heavy water projects, stop developing nuclear-capable missiles, and allow full inspections. Iran did none of it. Instead, it fortified its nuclear facilities so we cannot get to them, accelerated missile production, and continued to fund terror. Since the last operation in the summer, they spent billions on the proxies. The resolutions were clear. The strategy was just as clear. Delay, delay, delay. But we will not be played. We have heard the condemnation from few member states, from the Secretary General. But we all know that escalation did not begin today. It began when Iran armed proxies and exported terror. expanded missiles and drones, advanced its nuclear program in violation of its commitments, turned on its own people, beating, imprisoning, executing. Where was the outrage of the UN? Where were the consequences? Now let me address the brave people of Iran. You are not our enemies. This operation is not directed at you. It is directed at a regime that has silenced you, imprisoned you, and invested in missiles and uranium while your economy suffers. You deserve better. It is this regime, the Basij, the Revolutionary Guard, who have dragged your country into isolation. The world does not fear a free Iran. It fears a radical regime armed with nuclear weapons and driven by extremism. Your future should not be defined by those who chant for death. As President Trump has said, the Iranian people deserve dignity, security, and the chance to shape their own destiny. We are thinking about you. In this joint operation, Israel and the US are acting together, not because we see conflict, because we refuse to ignore declared destruction. We are stopping extremism before it becomes unstoppable. We will ensure that no radical regime armed with nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles can threaten our people or the entire world.
Subscribe, share, like, and comment. 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 Subscribe, share, like, and comment.